building quiet online income. Is it actually possible? The answer is yes, because we are not all out here trying to hustle and grind. We're not all about the boss babe life. I'm not trying to do all that. That is not for me. So I was determined when I set out on this journey to figure out how to do this in a way that was not going to implode my nervous system, because friends, I've been on a nervous system journey, okay? I've been trying to heal that. I'm not trying to go screw it all up. So the short answer is yes. The longer answer is in the rest of this video. So my name is Lee. This is Homespun Income, where we are building and being built.
Jesus, I will sing your praises forevermore.
Not everybody wants to be an influencer. Now, anything you do online and any type of community you build, you will be influencing. Not everybody wants to be a YouTuber, but so many people can utilize YouTube as a means to get to that slow morning life that we are trying to live. Some of us simply want to utilize the internet as a means to get the freedom that we're looking for in life. Maybe it's to pay off debt, maybe it's to quit the 9-to-5, or maybe you want to keep your 9-to-5 and you want to make extra money on the side. This could be getting land, this could be wanting to leave an inheritance, this could be wanting to take care of your parents who are starting to age. There can be so many reasons for this, and there's not a right or a wrong reason, and you got to hang on to those reasons. But some of us are introverts out here. Like, we don't thrive on being the center of attention. It takes you 2 weeks to recover after a social event, but you're seeing the opportunity. You're seeing the opportunity that is right here, right now, that utilizing the internet to build a life that works for you is possible. You're seeing that everyday people can utilize the internet to grow an income that maybe wasn't possible for just everyday regular people like us before. And you're recognizing the fact that we're in a window of time right now. You're seeing all the things kind of creeping up on the horizon, right? So some of us are seeing it. If you know, you know. But you're recognizing the fact that there's a window of time right now, and there's an incredible opportunity where people are craving authenticity and connection and skill building, and you are wanting to hop on that, and you're just not completely clear on how, or how people actually go about building a quiet, sustainable business or brand online. So you landed here, and I'm so glad you're here. I think you're in the right place today, and I hope by the end of this video, you think that too. I knew for me, I wanted to create a life where I could have my slow mornings, where I could do my night routine, and I could still build something that was filled with purpose, didn't have a cap on income, where I could create the income, where I could be a bigger blessing to other people around me, where I could create a flexibility and a freedom in my life. That really was the goal. And I have my personal reasons for that. I've shared a lot of that. And I knew that I needed to get clarity. I needed to connect the dots. I saw all these other people out here doing it, and I just needed to figure it out. I'm calling out from the other side as an introvert, as a cozy life lover. I'm telling you it's possible. So you want to build something that's sustainable. You want to build something that fits with your season of life. I'm going to start by saying this. There is a big difference between investing in a season of life that feels a little bit uncomfortable or intense and setting yourself up for an entire life of systems that are not sustainable, that are intense and uncomfortable. Very big difference. So when you are setting out to do something new or different, there is a discomfort that can come along with that, okay? There's a little bit of a roller coaster sometimes that can come along with that. There's learning curves that come along with this. I'm not going to lie to you and tell you that the whole process is like twirling through the fields, Laura Ingalls running down the hill. I would love to tell you that, but there is always that season of growing new habits and learning things you don't know before, and all that's uncomfortable. There's a season of locking in. There's a season of a little bit of intensity where you have to be willing to not only learn those things, but learn how to apply them. However, the goal is to not live that way forever. So that's the big difference. So there might be people over here telling you that you don't need to lock in at all. Maybe for very few people that's true. I have not personally seen that. And then there's people telling you that you need to have that, maintain that level of intensity forever to create the life that you want to create. And that's not true either. So we need to separate in our mind, okay, there might be a season where I have to get a little bit locked in or pursue something a little more intensely than I normally would want to, or even get a little uncomfortable or get some self-accountability in here. But that's not the goal forever. I don't want to create a system and a strategy where that is how my business operates long term. So I just wanted to lay the foundation for that so that as we go forward with this, you understand that there's a difference, that the things that we are investing in and the strategies and the education that we're investing in right now is to create a life that's going to fit in with your vision for how you want to build. It is a cozy, rainy spring day. I am in my pajamas and I'm just really happy to have you here. I love these kind of cozy days. So there is room for you if you are an introvert, a quieter personality. You value peace and home and coziness and rhythm. And you're not necessarily someone who's looking to chase attention. You're more just out here trying to build something sustainable. The burnout doesn't happen from the season of needing to be a little bit uncomfortable and intense or crack out of your comfort zone. That's not where the burnout comes from. The burnout comes from building wrong systems or having wrong mindsets about what is required to create the life you're looking to create. So if you've heard from someone that you have to be on 8 different platforms to be able to actually make income online, you have been lied to. I am living proof that you don't need to be going full speed on 8 platforms to be able to build something sustainable. And you might not even be wanting to build full-time and beyond like I do. You might want just side income. We need to be honest also about the fact that the online space has shifted, which it always does, just like everything else in our world. So some of the advice that people may have given in the past about passive income or soft income or building quiet money online is just create a digital download, create a template, and throw it up on Canva or Etsy or on some random store, and then people are just going to buy it. And that is not the case. That's a 1 in a million where you can just create some download and throw it up on Etsy and you're just going to all of a sudden have 10,000 sales. It's just probably not going to work that way. And I don't want you to waste your time. I don't want you to waste your mental energy and your creative efforts. I would rather you create something with intention and create a system around that thing so that you get the correct eyeballs on it, and then you can make passive income. So there's no such thing as purely passive income. At some point, you have to put effort into something. It can be on the front end, it can be on the back end. Effort is going to have to be put in. However, there is such thing as passive income ongoing. So for example, if I put together a blog post and I put affiliate links in that blog post, the effort was creating the blog post one time, or the effort was putting the pin on Pinterest together one time. The YouTube video I made like this is one time with the editing and getting it uploaded. And maybe there's some maintenance of responding to comments, right? Every conversion from that one effort that comes after that is passive income. So I can be downstairs having my afternoon tea and get a little ding, and I can have a conversion sale from that one thing going out. And that's a fantastic feeling when you are able to be sitting on your patio listening to the birds chirpy chirp and you make a sale and you are not actively investing energy into that moment. This is absolutely possible with the correct positioning, strategy, and packaging. What it means, the shift online, all it means is intention. There's too many people doing the same thing to be able to just throw it up there and hope. Create a system around it And then you can absolutely garnish passive income from your effort that you put into creating that product, tutorial, whatever it is, plans, sewing plans, whatever you've put together. You can create a system around it with passive income, but you can't just throw it out there and hope for the best, because it's probably not going to work out, and I don't want you to waste your time. So not all platforms are the same, and part of what I go through in a lot of my different trainings is understanding yourself as a creator, understanding what's going to work best for you, getting clarity on what's going to work best for you. Because the more and more clarity that you have, the less and less burnout potential you are going to have as well. Clarity on yourself, clarity on the person, clarity on the transformation and message, and then clarity on the system that you're building around whatever you're doing. So if you have a skill, if you have a passion, if you have a hobby, if you have a vision, if you have a victory, why not monetize it? Why not allow it to bless other people who are already searching for it? But we need to understand that we're going to present this differently based on the different platforms. And as I said previously, you don't have to be on all the platforms in order to succeed at this. So understand that there's a difference between social media and search platforms, distribution platforms. Social media examples, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. People absolutely, if you can hear the dog snoring in the background, I do apologize, but it's a cozy day for him too. People absolutely are successful on social media platforms, but it's a little bit more rare. The platform itself doesn't pay much. People can garnish money from affiliate marketing, from courses and downloads through those platforms 100%. But you have to understand that your content that you create and put on social media platforms has a very short shelf life. Typically speaking, that's the general rule, a very, very short shelf life. And you are also chasing your audience. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but you are chasing your audience. You're always, because it has such a short shelf life, meaning you put a post out and within 48 hours, 72 hours, it can become irrelevant unless it goes completely viral and everybody's still passing it around. So you have to continue to create and seek out that audience. A searchable distribution platform, something like a blog, something like Pinterest, something like YouTube, which is owned by Google, are search platforms. So if somebody is searching a topic like a recipe online, they can have your thing pop up in the search, your pin, your blog post, your YouTube channel, your YouTube video can pop up in their search. So instead of with the social platforms where you're chasing your audience, a lot of times with the search and distribution platforms, your audience is looking for you. And if you understand how to position your content and package your content for the right person, and they find you, now you have yourself a client, a follower, a buyer, a student, whatever you're looking for. If they find you and the content delivers, so you've positioned it so they can find you properly, you've packaged it so that they want to click on your thing out of the sea of stuff around it, and you have now created content within the packaging when they open the box where they are getting what they thought they were getting, especially in the first 30 seconds of opening that gift. Now you have someone who's going to stick around. And once they stick around, now you can begin building community. And you can do this in whatever way feels the most sustainable for you. Again, whether that's a blog, Pinterest, writing, YouTube, something like that. YouTube, whether you want to be faceless or you want to be face forward like I'm doing now, YouTube is 1000%, in my humble opinion of doing this for a very long time, the best platform for conversion and community building. If you want to get more eyes on your business, on your download, on your tutorial, on your coaching, on your product, YouTube is the platform as of right now. Where are we? April 2026. And you can allow YouTube to work and weave in partnership with your Pinterest, with your blog, and even with your social media. If you want to have those accounts, but you don't want to have to be jumping through hoops, let's say that feels really overwhelming to you. And you can just repurpose your YouTube content onto your socials. So you don't have to be coming up with a different concept for each platform. This is one of the ways that we can do this in a sustainable way. You do the YouTube video, that same topic you're making a pin about for Pinterest. That same exact topic from that one YouTube video, you're doing a blog article about, which you could use AI to help you write or not, depending on how you want to do that. You can take a clip from that and you can use it for your social media. So you don't have to be jumping through a million hoops. You just have to have clarity on your person, on your mission. You have to have good positioning, which means that the algorithm's gonna know exactly what your audience is and how to get your stuff in front of them. Package it well, and then when they open the gift, the right stuff is inside, you start to build that community, and conversion happens naturally. It all becomes an organic system where you're not the circus attraction, having to constantly figure out how to entertain everyone 24/7. So you can create a system where you say, I want to work for 2 to 4 hours a day, 5 days a week, or 4 days a week. And this is what I'm going to do within that time frame. These are the platforms that feel most organic to me. This is where I'm going to focus my energy for this season. I'm going to give this my all. I'm going to learn the skill. I'm going to do the uncomfortable work if I have to, because this is my goal, and I'm going to keep my eyes on it. So you're absolutely allowed to decide what feels the most genuine and authentic to you. And you don't have to do everything or be everything for everyone at the same time. You need one focus, one lane, one person, one transformation. Or if you have your business, you need one message, and then you need to know how to get that message in front of the right person. And then you create this organic system so that you are not constantly striving. Some stuff that's great for this that can become passive income is digital products, which there's a whole plethora of things that are considered digital products. Affiliate marketing, like I said before, connecting platforms organically, like we just talked about, having a blog, doing Pinterest, and you can create a lot of this stuff in that window of time that you decide you want to put aside for your work on Canva. You can have a free account, you can have the paid account, but there's so much that you can do for a very small amount of money. Building a business today online doesn't have to have all this big overhead of, in days gone by, people had to have a lot of money to start a business, and it's just incredible now what you can do with simple equipment and just the right, clear strategy. You can do memberships and community, which are really popular right now. And if you're not comfortable doing one-on-one coaching, though some people like that, they like just having their few clients and they enjoy that one-on-one interaction. They don't have to be, doing big Zoom calls or anything like that. But if you don't want to do that and you want to have community where you just go live in your community once a week and you do some behind the scenes stuff, or you teach something deeper, you teach some deeper skills. Let's say that you have a beginner sewing channel and you have a community where you teach some of the more fancy, more advanced things, and people can join that if they want to learn new skills. You could do something like that, and you can decide how and when you are going to nurture that community, and you can set those guidelines right from the offset so that people know exactly what to expect if they sign up. And then there's no false expectations, and you have your whole thing structured in a way that feels peaceful and sustainable to you. I actually think if you have a physical product that you are trying to sell, utilizing some of these platforms, especially the searchable platforms, utilizing that to get more eyes on your business, you can get it out there in front of so many more people. That will reduce your work on the back end. So why not utilize what's right in front of us? So don't forget, faceless versus face forward. You don't have to constantly show your face. If you're someone who doesn't want to do that, there are absolutely options for you online. We can get into some of that more in detail in another video. If you have specific questions, go ahead and let me know in the comments. This way, when you give me feedback, I know what to talk to you about in future videos. I can highlight your comment. But you got to leave the comment. I can't read mine. So you got to leave the comment so that I know what's important to you and what we need to talk about to help you move forward with your dream. There is faceless YouTube. There's all kinds of ways that you can do this. There's review channels, there's voiceover content, there's writing, again, through blogs, podcasting, which can be audio. You don't have to have your face on to do podcasting. You can choose the level of visibility that feels most comfortable to you. And there's a way to utilize all the same strategies that you would with face forward content and all the same strategies for packaging and everything, and you just do it for the faceless content. So the reality is you don't have to be the loudest person in the room. You need to be the person with the most clarity, and you need to be the person with intention. And if you are willing to apply those things consistently, there is an opportunity out here for you. There's an opportunity for sustainable, cozy income where you don't have to be chasing your tail constantly to get there. I'm gonna go through just a couple steps and then we're gonna wrap this up. So you are going to pick your platform. You're gonna decide what feels most authentic to you. If you need some guidance on getting clarity, I do have my 30-day online income clarity challenge. And this might just be a little step for you to help you get a better idea on the type of creator you are and the things that are important to you and what you wanna get started with. This could be your kickstart. A lot of people have downloaded this and benefited from it. So if you're interested in that, I will link that for you in the description box. I also have a bunch of free downloads for you, a YouTube starter checklist. I have my weekly business meetings with God. And one of the last things that I want to say is that for me, from a faith perspective, as a faith-based entrepreneur and creator, for me, peaceful income has all been wrapped up in making God the center of it. I have a free Skool community called the Co-Labor Collective, and this is all about being a Christian entrepreneur, building a personal brand or a business online with God as the center and the CEO, staying motivated and inspired to make purpose-filled income with God at the center of everything. And if you want to just finally learn how to do YouTube, like really learn it, and utilize it as a hub for conversion, for building community, for all of these things that you are seeking to do, building your personal brand or business, I have my YouTube Masterclass. And connected to the Masterclass is another Skool community where you can get ongoing connection and support with other people on the YouTube journey. And I can check out your YouTube channel, other people can check out your YouTube channel, and we can build something together. So all of these things will be for you in the description box and linked in the comments below. Build a realistic schedule and don't just post. Post with intention. Know what you are doing so that you don't waste your precious energy doing things that are not going to convert or build. This is about conserving our energy and framing and putting our energy intentionally into places where it's going to have the most purpose and oomph behind it. Okay, so you don't have to chase every trend, you don't have to go viral, you don't have to shout from the mountaintops. You can absolutely authentically build income online by being you, taking the things that are already inside of you that spark whatever it is that God's put inside of you. You can use that to monetize online and begin to build the freedom and the flexibility, the life that you desire to live. I am so happy to have you here, and I hope to be a piece of that journey with you. So if you're new here and you enjoyed today's video, I would love to have you subscribe so that we can visit again. Thank you so much for taking a piece of your precious day to spend it here with me. Love you and appreciate you, and Lord willing, I will see each and every one of you, beautiful and precious souls, right here on the next one. Bye, friends. Mwah.